Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So today we're going to start out and learn out here a new topic, and that's the threading and scheduling. So on this respective module, I'll be taking you towards the threading and scheduling in the Python programming language.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any new updates or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoy this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing. So make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video. Any queries or suggestions and I will respond to your comments.
Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So today we're going to start out and learn out here a new topic, and that's the threading and scheduling. So on this respective module, I'll be taking you towards the threading and scheduling in the Python programming language. Okay, here in threading and scheduling topics, we have some subtopics as well that are to be followed out. So what I'm going to do is that I'll be taking you next to the agenda here, and then only I'll be discussing everything in the detail. That's what we are going to cover. Okay. So here goes the agenda for today that we are going to follow up, and the very first thing we are having is the time module. Okay. So if we talk about the time module, so in Python programming, we have a time module that completely helps you to access the time and check out the current time, check out the local time with the help of Python programming language. Okay, so that respective time module we are going to see up here today. After that, we have the date time functions. So date time functions, they allow you to get on the current date, and they help you to do on the stuff with the dates. Okay, so in that respective case, we'll be dealing on with the date time functions. Then we have threading. Threading is one of the very important topics of the Python programming language. Okay, so we'll be dealing up with the threading, that what threading actually is, what are different functions, what are subtopics which we have under this, what are the different functions that we have. All the things we'll be seeing up here in detail. Okay, and at last, we'll be dealing up with the scheduling of the task. So in Python programming, you have a function, you have a module as well, which allows you to schedule on your task. Let's say you want a respective program to run after 15 minutes. So it allows you to schedule that particular task, and after 15 minutes, your respective program will be running and resulting in the output. This is what the scheduling task here is in the Python programming language. Okay. So we'll be seeing up all of these fours in the very much detail. Fine. So let's move ahead with the time module for now. So we'll be discussing about the time module. Okay. So if I talk about a time module, that's what it is used for. So it is one of the modules in the Python programming language which helps you to deal with the time related functions and the task. So it allows you and it helps you to deal on with the time related functions and the time related task. Fine. As I already told you that, let's say you want to get on the current time, that what's the current time right now, what's the current local time. Okay. So in all of these cases, this time module helps you. Next, this time module has a good range of functions which help you to deal with the timestamps. So the time module in Python has a wide range of functions which you are having out. You have numerous of functions in the time module, and they all have their different tasks. Okay, so in that relevant case, it helps you to deal with the time stamps. Hope I am very much clear for the time module that what it is. Now, what are the functions in the time module that we are having out? So many functions in the time module, but right here I have taken some important functions from the time module. So the functions goes time, sleep, seed time, and the local time. So these are the four functions which we are having out here: time, sleep, seed time, and the local time. Okay. Now, with the help of the time module only, let's say we are having the time module, right? So with the help of the time module only, first of all, it's compulsory for you to mention on that time module. Okay, after you have mentioned on that time module, then you are actually allowed to call on your respective function which you want to use out. So whenever you are working with the time module, any function from the time module, so make sure first of all you write on the time module, that's the module name, which is time, put on a dot, and after that put on your respective function which you want to go ahead with. Okay, now let's check out all of these functions in detail, that what are these and how are these used for. Okay, if I talk about time.time function, so this is one of the methods which helps you to get the seconds of the current local time. Okay, so this is one of the functions which helps you to get the seconds of the current local time which you are having out. Fine. Current local time means that whatever is the current time right now, helps you to get the seconds of that, not the complete time, only the seconds of that current local time. Okay, not the complete one. Please make sure to pay a little bit good attention towards my words which I'm saying out here, because that are important in the case of studying and understanding about the modules and the functions. Okay, again I would repeat it out, that it helps you to get the seconds of the current local time, only the seconds. Okay, not the complete current time. For that you have a separate function. So what's the syntax that you follow out? So here syntax goes, first of all you import on the relevant module, and here for us we have the time module, right? So the importing of the time module takes place. Then you have a variable, it's that variable is a, so that you set it as time.time. Now here you call on your time function with the help of the time module. Okay, here you do that out. So time.time, and here it allows you to print on the a. So if you can write out this code and execute that out, so it's going to result you the current local time, and that's so only the seconds, not the complete time. Okay, so hope I'm very much clear with that. Moving forward, we have time.sleep function. Now this is one of the another methods which helps you to provide the time delay with the execution of different processes. Okay. Before explaining you whatever I have written up here in the PPT, I just wanted to take you to one another site. Let's say you are having three printer statements. Okay. Now onto those three printer statements. Let's say in the first one you have written something, in the second one as well, in the third one as well you have written out some stuff. Now, in the case, let's say you want that as soon as I run out my program, the first one shall execute. Then after around 5 to 10 seconds, my second printer statement shall execute. Then let's say again after 10 to 20 seconds, your third printer statement shall execute. Let's say this is the case which you are having out. Okay. So in that respective case, this time.sleep is the module which allows you to do all of these stuffs. Okay, this module basically helps you to make on and to this particular function, that's a sleep function. It allows you to give a time delay whenever you're executing out some different processes and you want out a time delay into that. So the sleep is one of the functions which allows you to do out the same thing. Okay. Now, if we move towards the syntax of this time function, so simply syntax goes, first of all you import on the time module. Okay, importing on the time module takes place. Next, let's say a is equal to time.sleep, and now inside the bracket you need to put on the value for which you want to delay out the time. One very important thing regarding the value which you put is that it automatically takes that value into the seconds. Okay, it automatically does that out. So whenever you're putting on some value inside the save function, make sure that is automatically being treated in the seconds. If you want to convert it into minutes, so multiply that respective by 60. Okay, but there is no such means for putting on the direct value in the minutes in the sleep function. You would convert that into 60 and then run that out. That's absolutely okay, but directly you can't put out anything. Okay, whatever the value you're going to put out, that automatically is being gonna treat as in the seconds format. Okay, and it lets you print on the a. Fine, that's your resultant output. Next we have time.see time. Now this is one other function which you have out here. What it does, it allows you to give the current local time. Okay, it allows you to give on the current local time, whatever the current local time you are having right now. This time.see time function helps you to return that out. So what you do here, you give an argument as a result of the time function. Okay, you get the argument as a result of the time function. And what it returns you the current local time, and that's in the form of a string. So firstly it returns you the time of function, and secondly that returns that so in the string format. So the thing goes as import time here, a is equal to c time, and in the bracket you are having here as seconds, and you print on a. Fine. Next here you are having time dot local time. Let's say you what you want to start, you want the time in the form of, let's say, minute, you want seconds, you want year, and all those things you want out here. Okay, so this local time is a particular method in the time module which helps you to get on the various fields of timestamps like hour, minute, second, year, date. All of these stuffs are given by the local time function. So you get on a complete detail, a complete, I would say a complete exact detail regarding that what's the local time. Okay. So hope I'm very much clear, and the syntax goes import time a is equal to time dot local time bracket is seconds, and here you print on a. So and this is how you use that out. This is how you put on the local time function as well. Fine. So these are the some different types of functions which we have here in the time module, which I told you right here. The time dot sleep, time dot see time, and time dot local time. Now, some of you may be thinking that stay time and local time are the same. But no, that's not the same. As soon as I'm going to take you to the practical, that is onto the IDE, then I'm going to show you that what's the difference between the stay time and the local time function. They both are completely different. Okay, it's not that same. Maybe while they explaining it seems to you same, but no, it's not that case. Okay, so now we'll be going on to the IDE and performing out these practicals of all of the time functions which we have studied till now. The one thing that will be remain common in all of these functions is that importing of the time module. Okay. So importing the time module remains same in all of these time module functions which we are having and which we are calling out here, right? So hope I'm clear. Now let's quickly move to the IDE. Now let's do the hands-on to the time module which we have in the Python programming. We already learned out that whenever we are just doing on some hands-on for any of the respective libraries or for any of the respective modules, so the very first thing that goes is that we need to import out that particular module, right? So as here we are doing it for the time module. So in that particular case, I'm going to write on here as import time. Okay. Before that, one more thing that if you're not aware of this particular IDE which I am using, so I am using the PyCharm IDE. Okay. So it's an offline one. So I have this installed onto my device. And now here I would recommend one thing that if you want to do the stuffs which I am doing right here, the hands-on, so you could use on the online IDE as well, because right now right here I'm not doing anything such that it won't work onto the online IDE. So yeah, you could do this onto any of the online IDE as well. Okay, online offline anything works for me right now. Fine. So the very first thing that we did is that we imported on the time module. Right now next course is that I would be first of all using that time function. Okay, time function. So what I would do is that let's say a is equal to, okay, this is my time module, putting on the dot using out my time function. Okay, and here simply goes the printing of a. What I would just do is that let me just get one space down out from here, and let me put on here as hash, and here goes time dot time. Okay. Right, so what was this time function returning to us? This time function was returning us the count of the what? Okay, it was returning us the seconds of the current local time. Right, so now if I just run that out here, so for running onto the PyCharm, do the right click onto the blank space and click on run. Okay, so okay, let me just to increase this out. Fine. So as I told, it gives us the value in the second, right? So this is what it is giving me as an output here, right? So this is whatever the value is the current seconds. Fine. So hope I'm clear with the very use of this time function which we had seen out here. Okay, I would comment this as well. Great. Moving toward the next now, next function that we are going to see is time dot and we saw about the sleep. Now for sleep, I already told you that whenever you want any particular print statement or any particular function to run in a set of interval times, so in that case we use the sleep function. So for the very first thing, I'm going to import on the time. So import time goes on here. Next, I'm having another variable. Let's I would again take as a. Okay, before taking that out, I would use on some printer statements. Let's say my first printer statement is that. My first printer statement is time module. Okay, my first printer statement. After that, I'm going to use on the sleep function. Okay, inside that you could write any value. Let's say I wrote out here as 4. So it means here as 4 seconds. Okay. Oh, sorry. Instead of simply sleep, we use our time dot sleep, right? So time dot sleep in bracket it's 4. Next, I would again use one of my printer statements, let's say, and I would let's say do that module is threading and scheduling. Fine. Let's say this is one of my printer statements which I had written. Fine. After this, once again, I would write time dot sleep. And in bracket, let's say now I just put on 8 seconds. Okay. Now I get down here and now again one time I would use on a printer statement, let's say. And let's say that I am learning Python. I'm learning Python. Fine. Okay. Before running out this respective program, first of all, I'll be explaining you that how it will be running. Then I'll be showing you the output. So into this, what happened? I first of all imported on my time module. The reason for importing of this respective module is because I wanted to use on the sleep function. So you can't use the sleep function directly. So in that respective case, you need to use the time module as well. So that respective thing I have done. After that, I wrote out a print statement that's time module. So as soon as I run out my program, this time module will be displayed to me. Okay. Next, I'm having time dot sleep and in bracket it's 4. Now, into this respective case, when I just wrote out time dot sleep, so after printing the print statement, that's the time module. Okay, it will stop there for 4 seconds, and after the 4 seconds are over, it's gonna print me out this respective print statement, that's modular threading and scheduling. Okay. Next, after that, again here I'm having time dot sleep and into the bracket 8. Now what it will do for the next 8 seconds, it will stop at that respective case, and as soon as the 8 seconds are over, it will print me this respective as an output. Okay. So this is how it is going to work. Let me just quickly run that out here and show you that particular. See, time module first of all I got out, right? After 4 seconds, it printed me module is threading and scheduling, right? Now after 8 seconds, it is going to print me the last statement that I am learning Python. And see, I am learning Python is being displayed out here. So this is how this time dot sleep function works. So hope I am very much clear with the use of this time dot sleep as well. First of all, the time module here came as an output for me. After that, after 4 seconds, module is threading and scheduling that came. And then after 8 seconds, I am learning Python, this respective thing came. Fine. So this is how it completely works out. Okay, I would close this out here and fine. So I would comment this particular as well. Wonderful. Next, we are having time dot see time. Fine. So this is the one that we're going to see, time dot see time. Let me get down and get up some space, right? Importing my time module goes here. Let's say A is equal to time dot see time. What was see time displaying to us? See time was giving us the current local time, right? It was giving us the current local time. And now if I just run this out here, so have a look what it gave me. It gave me Wednesday, it's November 3, and the time right now is it's 4:41 p.m. actually, because it's 16th, so it's p.m. So 4:41 p.m. 43 seconds 2021. So it gave me the current local time. Okay. So this is how it displays as the relevant output. So the day is Wednesday, the month is November, and it's 3 of November. Okay. I'm going to close this out now. And I would comment this as well. Coming down. Now the last function we are having, that's time dot local time. brackets, right? Coming down, here goes the importing of my time module. Let's say again I wrote A is equal to its time dot local time. Okay, and I would simply print out here the output as A. Now what it is going to return me out as an output. So this will return me the output of the local time, including the hour, the minute, the seconds, everything it is going to return me out. I would show you that right here. So now have a look at what it is returning me. See, I would increase this out. Great. So, see, it told me that year is 2021, the month is 11, the month day is 3, the hour is 16, the minute is 42, the second is 59, the weekday is 2, the year day is 207, and this ISDST is equal to 0. It gave me the complete information regarding that today, what it is today, what is the year, what's the month, what is the month day, what is the hour, minute, second, what is the weekday, what is the year day, everything. Okay. Now hope you must be clear if you were confused previously. So now I hope you are very much clear that what's the difference between the C time and what is the difference between the local time. So C time was only displaying us today's day, that was Wednesday, today's month, that was November, and the time, right? And local time is displaying us the year, the month, the weekday, the year day, the hour, minute, second, everything it's displaying us out, right? So hope I'm very much clear with the use of all of these four functions which we had seen in the time module, that was time, sleep, seat time, and the local time. Hope you got out the complete idea regarding this, that how we put on these things, how we apply them into our code, and how we use them with the hands on. Right, now let's move toward the next topic which we are having out in the module. Okay, so now let's learn about the datetime function which we have here in the Python programming language. Okay, let's go ahead and check that out, that what is this datetime function used for. So for the datetime function as well, first of all we have the datetime module. Okay, datetime is one of the modules which we have out here, and which allows us, and which is basically like helps us to work on with that date and times. Okay, so whenever is a requirement that you want to work with the date and time in the both of the cases, you could simply use the module which is date time module. Okay, the case where you want to work only and only with the time, in that case you are having on the time module, but date time module allows you to work out with the date and time both. Okay, now we are having some different sort of datetime functions in the Python programming language. So let's say we are having now. Okay, now is one of the functions which you are having out here. Now, okay, listen to me one thing very much carefully right here. So one thing was that datetime is one of the modules, right? In that module, you have a datetime function as well. Okay, now inside that datetime functions you have different types of another functions from which you perform on your relevant work, your relevant tasks, whatever need you are having, then you call on those particular functions. So here it is written datetime dot first one is the datetime module, then inside that datetime module you have a function and that name is as well datetime. So second goes the date time. Then from the datetime function, you have a function which is now. Okay, so then you called on your now function. Okay, so this is how the functions in the datetime module actually work out. Okay, without the importing of the datetime module, you can't use your datetime functions and the other relevant functions which lie under this datetime functions. Okay, without the importing of the datetime module, it can't happen. Now datetime is one of the modules which you're having, right? So in that case it means that it's not at all needed to install that out. We do not need to install on the datetime module separately into our devices. It automatically comes pre-installed with the Python only. Okay, so it's not your job to install that out. It automatically comes pre-installed. So simply what you need to do is that you need to write on import datetime And after that, use on your relevant function whichever you want to use out. Now in this datetime module as well, we are having different types of functions, but right here I have taken two functions in this particular module which are commonly used out. So the function goes here. The very first function you are having as now, and the second function you are having as today. Okay, so what are these functions, what do they return, all those things, what are they going to give the output, that will be seen on the IDE. Right, you will be understanding the process of using this out. Okay, so the process would be the similar as we have used in the time module. Simply, first of all, you will be importing on the datetime module. After that, you will be taking on a simple variable, and into that variable, with the help of the assignment operators, you will be assigning datetime.now to that respective variable. Okay, so what is the output this particular statement will be return that all those things will be stored in that relevant variable which I was talking about. Okay, and at last at the end with the printer statement, you could simply print on that particular variable. Okay, this was the very first method which we have out here. If I talk about the second method, the second is possible to import on the datetime. Okay, one more thing, that there are many ways to use on a similar function and all those things, but there is one common thing that will take place in all of the usage and in all different ways is the import of your datetime function. That doesn't changes out. Okay, so you import it on your datetime function, and next simply inside the printer statement you could write datetime.now. That will as well work out. So I told you two respective cases for using on the datetime functions. So whatever you are clear with, you could use any of those methods for this datetime. We'll be checking them onto the IDE as well. But before that, let me quickly give you once again an overview that what we done here. So here we were studying about the datetime function. So we learned here that datetime is first of all one of the modules which you are having out here. So that is termed as datetime. After that, you are having a function as well, that's datetime function only. And then you have your other functions which you call out and which you use them out. So datetime is one of the modules in Python which helps you to work on with the date and time. So different functions which you are having in the datetime function is datetime.now, datetime.today. Right, so I hope I'm very much clear with both of these functions, that what are these and how do you use them out. Now let's move on to the PyCharm IDE, put on some practical for both of these functions, and let's see that what are the outputs that they are returning us. So now let's move on to the PyCharm IDE. Now let's quickly do the hands-on for the datetime module which we already studied out, right? So as I already told you into the previous one as well, but right now again I would tell you that whenever we are dealing with any of the modules or any of the libraries, so that's compulsory for us to import out that relevant module. Okay, but for that, what when we are dealing with the datetime module, into that what we had seen first of all we have the datetime module, right? After that we have the datetime function. So whatever the now and today, these two, what are the functions we are having, that come under the datetime function, and datetime function come under the datetime module, right? So into that relevant case, now I'll be using one another way of importing the library with a function name. Okay, how do we do that? Let me tell you. I would be writing out here that from datetime, okay, from datetime import datetime. Let me just increase the size a little bit right here. So this is how we use when you are having out a module, and from that respective module you want to import out any relevant function. So this is how we go ahead and put on the things. Here the datetime is the module which we are having, and import this datetime is my function which we are importing on from the datetime module. Fine. Now first of all I'll be using the now function. So we use that out. So I would just write that let's say my variable name is current. Okay, current is equal to I'll be using first of all my my datetime function, putting on a dot and using here the function which is now. So now function, what I'll be doing is that I'll be printing. So print And okay, not this inverted commas. I would simply print on the variable that's current. Fine. What I have done, I would quickly give you a review once again. Then I would move forward with the other things. Okay. So in the datetime module, I already told you, and I already paid a like a huge, very big focus when that in the datetime module. The datetime is the module that you are having. Rather than the datetime module, you are having one datetime function as well, right? So onto that particular function, I told you that now and today, these were the two common functions that we were dealing with, right? So now and today come under the datetime function, okay? And the datetime function which I'm talking about, that comes under the datetime module. So that's the reason above I wrote from datetime import datetime, okay? Next, I simply made on a variable that's, let's say, that is current. The value for that variable is current. And now after that I used on my now function. So how do you use that out? So for using out that now function, simply first of all you need to use on your datetime function, put on a dot and then use the function which is now, okay? And I simply print out the current is a variable in which my now function is being called out. Now if I run out this respective program, so see what output do I get out here. My output which I'm having is first of all the year for today, that's 2021. It's the month, that is 11. It's the day, that's 3. And this is basically the time. It's 16:55:56.97 somewhat. Okay. This is complete idea. This is complete time which it gives us regarding right now. Okay, so it gave me the date as well. It gave me the time as well. That is why it is called as datetime module and the datetime function. I'm having my day that it's 3rd of November 2021. And what's the time? It's 4:55 right now. Okay, so both of the things I am getting up here. Wonderful. Now, I would comment up this particular, right, like this. Fine. Okay, next what I'm having out here is that next I would be writing once again from date time. Now, I would be using on the today function. Okay, so let's say I want the today's date. That what is today's date? Okay, so in that case, now I'll be importing here as date, not date time completely. Okay, because right current date time we are already getting from the date time function. Sorry, from that now function we are already getting up today's date and today's time. So there is no such need for me to again check out the today's date and time. So let's simply check on today's time first of all. Sorry, date. So for that case, I simply wrote out from date time import date, right? Next after that, what I would be writing, I'll be writing, let's say my variable is present. Okay, present is equal to, here goes my date dot, and here goes my today as the function. So why I did use on the date? Because date is a function which comes under the datetime module. So that this was my job to first of all import on the datetime module and then use the date function from that, and from the date function then you use out the today function. Okay, and I could simply print on a statement that okay, so let's print on some like this, something that today's date is, putting on a comma and using here the variable which is present, right? And now let's run that out quickly. So yeah, have out a look here that what it gave me. It gave me today's date, that is 2021, 11 and 3. So please make it in a form that it is 3rd of November 2021. It gives you in the form of YYYYMMDD. Okay, that's first one is the year, then you have month, and the next you are having the date. Day. Okay. So this is how you use on the datetime module for the today function. Great. So hope I'm very much clear that how you use on the datetime module for these types of functions as well, how you do that out. Right, so we just saw about the now and the today. We just have a look over both of these functions, that how to use them out and like what's the way for using them out, and all the things we just saw in detail. Right, so hope I'm very much clear with the now and today function practical as well, and we are as well seen out that what do they return us. Fine. Now let's get back to our PPT and now let's follow up the next topic which we have in the module. Now let's learn about the threading, that what threading is, what are the functions you're having, how to use that out. Okay, let's go ahead and check that all of the things. So for threading as well. So first of all, what is the threading? So threading is the controlling, the creating and the managing of the threads. Okay, so threading refers to the controlling, the creating and the managing of the threads, right? So this particular is what we call as threading, and threading is performed with the help of the threading module. Now again we have out a module here in the Python programming, and that's threading module. Okay, so whenever you want to make the threads, whenever you want to destroy the threads, or whenever you want to work with the threads, it's compulsory for you to first of all import on the threading module, then only it will result to the output. Otherwise, it's going to show you the error. So previously, before the 3.7 version of Python, the thread module was used. Instead of threading, you were having a module that is thread. But that was before Python version 3.7. So the versions down Python down 3.7 were using the thread module, but right now the what are the new versions of Python have came. So all of now those only and only support the threading module. They do not support out the thread module. So if you're having out a Python version higher than 3.7, so if you're going to write out import thread, so it will show you that this no module exists, or errors like this would come. Okay, module exists error will come. So make sure if you're having a Python version above 3.7, you write on the threading module only. So here it goes as import threading. Fine. So hope I'm clear with that how you do out the respective things. So the controlling, creating and managing of the threads is done by the threading module. Now there are different methods in the threading module as well, which allows you to do out these different things. So first of all, the threading which you have written in the starting, that is referring to your threading module which you have out. So that thing goes only like this. Then you have the relevant functions, that is active count, you have current thread and you have the enumerate. So these are the three types of different functions which you have here in the threading module. And what are they used for, what do they return, that we'll be seeing in the next slide. But for now, understand that you have these three different types of methods which are in the threading module: active count, current thread and the enumerate. So I would quickly give a recap of this and then we're moving towards the functions in detail. So threading is one of the modules in Python programming language which you have here, and they allow you to create the threads, to work with the threads. The controlling, creating and the managing of threads is completely done by the threading module only. Okay, as threading is a module, so you do not need to install that out again. It automatically comes pre-installed. Okay, so do not need to install that out. It comes actually with the Python version as a pre-installed module for you. So no command is needed for the installation. Okay. The different methods which you have under the threading module are active count, current thread and the enumerate. Let's see them in detail, that what are these functions for. So if I talk about the active count, so this is one of the method which returns you the count of the thread objects which are active. Okay, so what it returns you the total count, it returns you the total number of thread objects which are active. This is what threading dot active count is used for. Okay, so whenever you're going to use on the active count function, it will return you the total number, that is the count of the thread objects which are active right there. Okay, next if I move towards the current thread, so this is one of the method which returns you the count of thread objects which are in the caller's thread control. So this current thread function returns you the count of the thread object which are in the caller's thread control. So whenever you want out the count of the threads with thread objects which are in the caller's thread control, so in that case you use on the current thread function. Okay, next you are having the enumerate function. So this is one of the method which returns out the list of thread objects which are active. Okay. So whenever you want the list of the thread objects which are active, you use on the enumerate. And whenever you want the count of the thread objects which are active, you use the active count. Okay. Please listen to me very much carefully here. Please do not get confused between the active count and between the enumerate function, because the work for both of the functions is absolutely same. Only the difference goes is in returning the total count and in returning the list of the objects. Okay, only the difference goes here. The work of both of them is same. So make sure you do not get confused between the active count and enumerate. I would repeat that once again. Active count returns the count of thread objects which are active. Okay. Enumerate returns the list of thread objects which are active. When you want the count, you use active count. When you want to list, you use the enumerate. And about the current thread, this is one of the methods which returns the count of the thread objects which are in the caller's thread control. Okay, so hope I'm very much clear with all of these three functions in the threading module, or these methods in the threading module, which I told you here, that for active count, current thread, and the enumerate ones. Okay, now we'll be okay. One more important thing before moving to the IDE. Whenever you're using these modules, so again it's compulsory for you to import on the threading module. Okay, first we'll import out the threading module, then write threading dot active count, threading dot current thread, and threading dot enumerate. Simply active count, simply current thread, and simply enumerate won't work out. You need to, in the starting, you need to specify that from which module you are using and calling on these functions using these methods. Okay, so now hope I'm very much clear with all the things which I have told you. So now let's understand about the scheduling of the task in the Python programming language. In the very starting, when I was discussing the agenda with you, there I told you regarding the scheduling of the task that in Python programming language, you have a module, you have a library which allows you to schedule out the task as well. So let's say you want that this particular program shall run after 15 minutes. So you will schedule that out and it will automatically run after 15 minutes. Okay, this is how the scheduling task, what actually means out. Okay, now let's move forward and let's check out that how we can use that out. So again, I mentioned that there is a library in Python, and that's the schedule library, scheduler actually. Okay, scheduler is one of the libraries in Python which allows you to run out the Python programs in a periodic interval of time. Let's say you are having out an interval, let's say you want all of the Python programs to run in an interval of 10 minutes. Okay, so schedule is a library in Python programming which allows you to run out the Python programs in a periodic interval of time. Okay, as well it allows you to schedule out a task. Let's say you want to schedule a task at some respective time, so in that case it allows you to schedule the task as well. First of all, it allows you to run the Python programs in a interval of time, and second, it allows you to schedule your task as well. Okay, so this is the use of the this scheduler library which you have here in the Python programming language. Fine. Now next, basically, as I told you that scheduler is a library. Okay, so that needs to be installed on. So to use on the scheduler library for scheduling the task, firstly the installation is required. The command goes pip install scheduler. I would again repeat, pip install is same for all the libraries. Whatever you want to install, this command remains same. Only the command differs when you are using the library name. So here my library name is scheduler, so I am using that out. So pip install scheduler. Fine. What's the syntax that you use out? So the syntax is schedule.scheduler class. Okay, this is how the syntax actually works. Onto the very top, the scheduler library gets imported, and then this particular syntax is used. Apart from this, we have some more code to be written out here that I haven't discussed up here, that we'll be discussing up onto the IDE. So I was just simply discussing about the syntax that we have out here that we use for scheduling on the task. So it's super fun actually for in the use of a scheduler library, that it allows you to first of all run on the Python program in an interval of time, and it as well allows you to schedule our respective task. Fine. So in that case, it actually works out procedure for using and installation is simply use on the command. First of all, that's pip install scheduler. Install your library, and then you import on your library and use on your respective program, whichever you want to proceed on with. Fine, so hope I'm very much clear with the scheduling task. Now let's take out a quick recap of whatever we had learned till now into this particular module. So I'll be taking you back to the side from where we started, and after that let's take out a quick recap, right? So we started here from the time module, right? We started the time module. That time module in Python, it helps you to deal up with the time related functions and with the time related tasks. So this particular time module, it has a good variety, it has a good range of functions which helps you to deal with that time stamps, right? This was what about the time module we studied. Then we studied that here in the time module we have four different functions, that is time, sleep, seat time, and the local time. And the time which you are seeing before the dot here for each and every topic, that's the time module only. So whenever you are using out any of the modules, so in some cases it's compulsory for you to put on the module name in the starting, and after that call on the relevant function which you want to call out. Okay, so at some cases it's compulsory. Let's go ahead and check out the time dot time. So time is the module and another time is the function. Fine. So this time dot time method, it helps you to get out the seconds of the current local time. So whenever you want the seconds of a current local time, so onto that relevant case, this time is a function which allows you to do out that relevant thing. And how you do that out is simply you write down the import time, you import on the module and time dot time, and you just print on the relevant variable in which you have called your time function. Right, this is how you do out. Next, we are having time dot sleep. So this is one of the methods which helps you to provide the time delay within the execution of different processes. Okay, it allows you to provide the time delay with the execution of the different processes. Next, so here into the sleep module, let's say you are having three print statements. The example which we had seen on the hands-on, I would repeat that only. So into this relevant case, let's say you are having three print statements with you. Okay, the first one you want to run out. After that you want a 4 seconds of gap, then you want the second print statement to get executed, then you want a 8-second gap, then you want out the third statement to get executed. So this is how this particular procedure takes place. Firstly, your first print statement runs out, then after 4 seconds goes your second statement, and then after the 8 seconds goes your third statement. Okay, so hope I'm very much clear with the sleep function, that what it does and how it works out. In the sleep function only we learned one more important thing, that what is the value you're going to give, that is automatically being taken in the seconds. If it is more to give out a value in minutes, so you need to multiply that by 60, but if you're simply entering out a value, that will automatically be taken in the seconds. Okay, let's go ahead, and here we have time dot seat time. Now, what is the seat time method? So it helps you to get the argument. As a result of the time function returns the current local time in the form of a string format. So this time seat time function helps you to return out the current local time. Okay. Next, we have the local time. The local time is a method which helps you to get the various fields of timestamps like hour, second, week, day, month, day, year, day. All these values you get on with the local time function. Then we saw about the datetime function, that what is the datetime function. So datetime, first of all we have module name, that is datetime, which allows you and helps you to deal with the date and the time. With both the factors it allows you to deal with. Okay, so we were having two important functions in the datetime module, and those were, first one was now and second one was today. So datetime is one of the modules which you're having, and in the datetime module only you have one function which is named as datetime only. So module datetime as well, function name is as well datetime. So datetime is a module in Python which helps you to work with the date and time. So the different datetime functions in Python are datetime dot datetime node now, and next we are having as today. Next we saw about threading, that what is threading actually. So what is threading module? So the controlling, the creating and the managing of the threads are done with the help of the threading module. Fine. So So this is what we learned about the threading module. The controlling, creating and managing of the threads are done completely by the threading module. Okay, if you're having the Python version below 3.7, so in that case threading module won't work. In that case threads were working. But as soon as the Python version increased, so instead of now the thread function, simply threading module works. So in that respective case, we need to write on import and then goes to your threading module. Fine. The different functions which you have here in the threading module are active count, the current thread, and the enumerate. These are the three different types of methods which you are having in the threading module. What is this active count function method? So this particular, what it does, it returns you the count of the thread objects which are active. So whatever the thread objects are active, it returns you the count of all of those thread objects. Next, you're having the current thread. So this is one of the method which returns you the count of thread objects which are in the caller's thread control. So whatever the thread objects are in the caller's thread control, it helps you to return the count of all of those. Fine. Next, you are having the enumerate function. So this respective method deals with the it returns you the list of the thread objects which are active. Okay. Next, we saw about the scheduling of the task, that how we could schedule some task onto the with the help of Python programming language. So we have out a library here in Python, that's scheduler. Okay, that's the scheduler library. So it is one of the libraries in Python programming which allows you to run out the Python programs in a very periodic interval of time. Okay, so the function which allows the model which allows you to run out the functions in a periodic interval of time, that is called as a scheduler module. Okay, and even you can schedule your task as well. So it allows, it works on both of the cases. First of all, Python programs in a periodic interval of time. For this as well it works out. And second, basically it allows you to schedule out a task as well. Fine. Next, we are having that how to use on that scheduler library for scheduling on the task. So the way which you prefer is that first the installation is done. So that is done to the pip install scheduler. That first of all pip install command is used, and scheduler is a library that we were talking about. Pip install scheduler goes, and what is the syntax? Syntax is schedule.scheduler class. Right. So hope I am very much clear with this, that what are the threading and what is scheduling, what is time module, what is date time module. Right, hope you enjoyed out this video and learned some new things regarding the threading and scheduling. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any new updates or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoy this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing. So make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video. Any queries or suggestions, and I will respond to your comments.